And we're live, yay. Alright, so, this video is gonna be about Lady Alchemy, and I'm not trying to get into that dumpster fire at all. It is what it is, but, something happened today that kind of, well, not today, but yesterday that really kind of made me upset. And it's something, like, I hold in a lot, and I don't really speak about this too much, because I try to keep Twitter focused on our work, memes, and having a fun time. But so today, well, actually yesterday, both Jack Irons and I got tagged in a thread talking about, hey, the indie comics community needs to come together to support this fellow creator, blah blah blah, right? It turns out it's Martina. I can't pronounce her name right. That's my bad. I'll get it right in the description. But hey, here's a link to her website where she's got stuff going on, right? The person who tagged us in the tweet, right? Please don't go out and harass them or whatever. Just kind of ignore it. But their statement of the indie comics book community needs to come together and help this person is kind of tone deaf, right? And the reason why it's tone deaf is, unfortunately, as the more you create and the more relationships you build within indie comics, you start to learn that it's like living in the U.S. and being in California versus Arizona versus Texas versus wherever. Everyone's got like their own ecosystem, their own audience, their own cliques, whatever. I usually flotate around a certain group of people, and I usually stick with those folks. So when somebody who, from the outside, who I don't follow, doesn't follow me, they don't follow me, I don't follow them, I've had zero interaction with them, comes out of the left field and says, you need to do this, and expects me to drop everything or either retweet it, signal boost it, whatever, without like having like some personal or professional interaction with me, I typically just ignore it and move on, because it's none of my business. However, and this is the reason why I'm making this, because it's extraordinary in what happened. Cody, if anyone ever had the blessed opportunity to work with Cody Fernandez, he's a wonderful guy, beautiful man. His writing's like spectacular, way better than mine. I'm kind of jealous of what he's able to pull off, and somebody I really respect and look up to, especially with the way he handles himself online. I wish I could replicate some of those things. He's a way better man than I am when it comes to his response. His response to the tweet in question was very measured, was like, hey, I empathize, this sucks. And then the person who we're supposed to be helping out comes in and just starts fucking talking shit. And what makes it even worse is their tweets are protected. So it's not like you can really dig in and see what the problem is, because you're technically kind of blocked, right? And so just one of the things that kind of just, I saw that pissed me off, was this person's like, well, I got thousands of supporters and thousands of this and thousands of that. And that kind of, in a way, is kind of like when an Instagram influencer messages an artist and says, I want some free art, I can pay you an exposure. And it's kind of like horseshit, that's what it felt to me. And I kind of felt like Jack got unnecessarily attacked when he was trying to be empathetic. Now, the shit going on with Lady Alchemy and that whole Indiegogo crowdfunding thing, it's a dumpster fire. It's a dumpster fire, and I hope that it gets handled, and I hope that the parties that are I hope that just gets settled amicably. Okay, I can't talk. But I wish nothing but the best for everybody. But whatever sort of support you could have given that person is now gone, because they decided to come in guns blazing, and you had other people coming in guns blazing. And I personally just have this issue with anytime there's a indie comic creator that gets into some shit or gets fucked over or something, whatever, right? It's always, hey, Rags, we need to come together as a community. Well, where the fuck was the community, right? When, Doug Ertz was getting harassed, Timothy Lim was getting harassed, all these other independent creators getting harassed and shit on. Where was the indie comic community when, Column didn't make their first Indiegogo? Like, there's a lot of questions I have, like, for the indie comics community. Like, where were you when you have these other creators who needed your help and you just chose to fucking ignore them? Right? You can't invoke the power of the community whenever it fucking suits you, right? I know I don't. I just say, hey, guys, I have a thing. If you want to help. But I really dislike how people expect creators to automatically become cheerleaders for a cause that they have no idea about. Like, I don't really I know of the dumpster fire, right? I know of the Lady Alchemy dumpster fire because I've just seen it in passing. I watched John De La Rosa's channel. He had a really great interview with it. I might throw that that link in the description. But, I'm aware of what's going on, but Cody isn't. And Cody needs hardcore evidence in order before he makes a decision. But he usually errs on the side of like, no one's trying to screw me over. But it just goes to show, a lot of times when you're on Twitter, people tend to just mass tag you in tweets, and you've never interacted with these people. You have no personal relationship, you have no professional relationship, and they expect you to, be a cheerleader for them and to take their side in this fucking war. And you're like, I don't even know you. Like, why are you telling me to pick up dog shit in a lawn that house I didn't even live in? I'm just at the stoplight passing through, I'm just on my way to the grocery store, and you're mad at me for that some random dog shit in this person's yard, and I have nothing to do with that. It becomes a clown show, if you will. And what it really does, and it pisses me off, is you kind of start seeing creators start going from really open, wonderful people, like, how we used to be, and to start shutting themselves off a little bit more. Start going away from nonsense, if you will. Comicsgate does this shit all the time where, they'll mass tag you in this tweet thread with other people. You're like, hey, I don't care that you're Comicsgate, but, just kind of leave me out of this, and they get offended. And you have, it just becomes this huge, massive dumpster fire. And I know of, when it comes to the community and people working together, we tend to talk shit about each other. I've done this too. I'm a hypocrite syndrome, but I'm at least self-aware to at least call myself out on it and work better. But we have all talked shit about somebody, whether personally, professionally, and then go crawling to them to ask for help or ask for advice, or hey, can you tell me how you did this, or can you tell me how you did that? And this is something I'm aware of that I do sometimes, and I'm like, all right, you need to fucking cut that shit out. I don't know why I ranted that. But anyway, the point is, before you guys reach out to people and start mass tagging them in these fucking tweets to start raising battle flags for folks, how about just think before you tweet? 1, 2, don't tweet anything that's going to put somebody on the spot. Because I know if you tweet something at me that I feel is going to put me on the spot, I'm just going to ignore it, not tweet it, or be like, polite pass, and move on with my day. There are a lot of things that are handled way better in DMs, because when you make these tweets, it gets heated when people start throwing their opinions about shit out, and especially when it's legal. And I know there's going to probably be some hot takes on this crap, but I don't care. But the takeaway is, at least for me, if there's shit going on in the indie sphere, I probably know about it, and if I haven't tweeted about it, it means I don't fucking care, or it doesn't concern me. And people just need to be better aware of their surroundings and of the people that they're randomly tagging in, help me tweets or whatnot. Again, just before you tweet, like, hey, this person needs help. Like, hey, what do you know about, hey, do you know so-and-so? Yeah, I know about them. Oh, do you know what's going on with them? Yeah, what are you talking about? Oh, this thing. Oh, yeah, I know about that. Hey, would you be opposed if I made a tweet asking people to signal boost up and out, like, actually, no, because, you know, me and that person don't quite get along, and I would like to stay away from it. Oh, okay, fine. See, that could have solved a lot of problems for a lot of people and cured a lot of headaches. But, you know, again, people are just so caught up in the fucking moment that you just it ruins people's day. So at the end of the day, you know, I love and support Cody 110%. I don't want to see him go to the dark side like I have, but I want people to be aware of what the fuck, you know, these really weird tribal relationships and connections are. It could be a pain in the ass to navigate some days. Anyway, please hit the like, subscribe button, yada yada yada. You know where to find me. Tiger Uppercut.